I sort of.
Last drop, 8th in. The tie, 2-1. Isabel Verano.
Are you coming to us?
Hello, curling fans. Welcome back inside Alliance Center here in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. The HearingLife Tour Challenge Day 2. We've got a fantastic women's A-side battle for you. Team Rachel Homan against Team Stefania Constantini. John Cullen alongside three-time world champion Brent Lang. And Brent, all season long, Team Homan has yet to lose a game. Is today the day?
I highly doubt it. No, I have no idea. If they're going to lose a game, it's hard to go undefeated in the Grand Slams. But if anybody can do it, I think Rachel's in the right mindset and things are going their way. But they're just making a ton of curling shots and they look really hard to beat. I don't want to play them.
I absolutely do not want to play them either. Yeah, I mean, you kind of had a front row seat for how good they were last year. Obviously playing against Jen quite a bit, and what has been kind of this change for Team Homan, because obviously we know Rachel Homan is good, but this version of Team Homan is exceptional.
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on one thing. Up and down the lineup, there's no weaknesses. I think that at the front end they're as good as anybody, and that's a good start. And then Tracy Fleury's just fit in so well at third, and different skill set than Emma and Rachel over the years. I mean, bringing in kind of a touch player, but it's worked so well. And then Rachel just as good a shot maker as you're ever going to see, and it all leads to lots of wins.
Fantastic. Let's meet the lineups for the teams today, as we have already been discussing. It is Team Homan out of Ottawa, Ontario. Rachel Homan, the skip. Tracy Fleury, the third. Emma Miskew, the second. And Sarah Wilkes, the lead. And they will be facing off against Stefania Constantini. They're out of the Cortina d'Ampezzo club in Italy. The skip is Stefania Constantini, the third, Elena Mathis, the second, Giulia Zardini-Laciadelli, and today, a lineup change, Angela Romay on the bench, Marta Lodeserto in the game today. So it should be a good one. I mean, we were talking about this before we got on air. This Constantini team as well, they're no slouches, number 8 in the world, and they've kind of come out of nowhere, really. Before the 22 Olympics, we had never really heard of Stefania. She wins the gold medal in mixed doubles and now has really made a name for herself on the women's tour.
She certainly has. I mean, I remember watching that mixed doubles and obviously pulling for Canada, but especially that game where they knocked John and Rachel out. I think that last game she made that super clutch draw. Here's a 21-year-old, her first Olympics, first big curling competition as far as I could tell. As like you said, I didn't know her from anyone, and just makes the perfect draw to the button and goes on. I think they went through undefeated, and yeah, and then all of a sudden she's in the slams, not just in the slams, but well into the slams, and probably set for most of the year. And I don't know, it's impressive to see the Italian curling program. And again, I mentioned it yesterday, Claudio Pesce, you got to give him a lot of credit. Obviously doing something right there, because they're producing tons of great players.
Yeah, no kidding. And they've made a move this year, bringing on Elena Mathis, who has actually represented Switzerland at the junior level. But if you know anything about Switzerland, there's a French part, there's a German part, there's an Italian part. So it feels like they can kind of go wherever they need to go. And Elena has made her way onto this Italian squad and has been a great addition. She was a 3-time Swiss junior champion, and it does seem like this is the best version of this Team Constantini lineup that we have seen. So should be a great game today with them and Team Homan, and I'm excited to see. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of Team Homan this year. I saw them at the Points Bet, but excited to see them firsthand here at the first Grand Slam of the year and see if they can continue their unbelievable run of play going.
I gotta say, it's more fun watching them when they're not playing against my wife than it is when they are. They had a ton of great battles over the years, but Rachel won far too many of the games for my liking.
Yep.
But hey, that's how it goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It kind of was, it's always been a rivalry, and then it sort of felt like last year with Jen retiring and all the sort of drama at the Scotties with how good of a season Rachel's had, how well Jen was playing. It made for a really great 1-2 game, especially, and final. They were, it was a pleasure to watch. I was in the building for all of that, and I know that it was. Sorry that your wife came out on the wrong end of that, but it was great curling games and a great spectacle for the sport.
It really was. The crowd was awesome. Everything was, almost the fairy tale ending, but in a lot of ways it still was the fairy tale ending. I think it made sense that the last game was against Rachel, the final, the Scotties, and, all those things. And then she got her final farewell at the Players' Championship, where she got to kind of take in. She always thought, as I just kind of went off into the dark and in an empty arena threw my last rock. But she always thought, there'd be a last Scotties, but it would maybe be a meaningless shot that she would have as her last one. It ends up there she is in the damn final again, just kind of doing what she does and having a difficult shot. But one if she made, there's a good chance they win another Scotties, and then she can't retire, and then I'm stuck single parenting again. And so it's fairy tale ending for me. Maybe not the one she wanted, but close for me.
Sort of a real Princess Charming kind of ending there for you, yeah. No, that's good. That's true. I can only imagine the stress it must have put on you to have to do all that single parenting work yourself.
That wasn't really me, you're right. I'm reading between the lines. That's Grandma Carol, who allows our life for the last 12 years. There's no question. But now Bella's almost 12, so we can leave them for, I think that's 6 weeks at 12.
Is that the official
that's
ruling?
The Ontario law.
Okay, yeah,
Rob
nice.
Ford just changed that too.
Well, that's pretty wild that he's changing laws from beyond the grave, but
kids can stay alone, and you can get booze at convenience stores now, so not unrelated news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take the kid day. Here's $20. I'm leaving for 6 weeks.
Should be fine.
Beers are only $1 now, as is my understanding.
Yeah.
So we'll get the game going here with Sarah Wilkes throwing the first stone, which does indeed indicate that Stefania Constantini and her team from Cortina d'Ampezzo are starting with the hammer.
And it's their hometown that's hosting the Olympics, is it not, John?
It is, yeah.
That's a pretty special opportunity for both these Italian teams, I believe. The men's and the ladies' teams are from there. Having a home country Olympics is one thing, but in your hometown is pretty crazy. I mean, I grew up in a town of 4,000. Meaford was never going to host the Olympics, so that was not an option for me. But I've never been, but heard only great things.
Yeah, I mean, it seems amazing. Yeah, I didn't know you were from Meaford specifically. I played hockey there quite a bit when I was a kid. We used to play against the Meaford Marauders, I want to say. Is that right?
Could be, yeah.
And, we used to head out there. Nice small town, but yeah, you're right. I don't think, probably not going to win the IOC bid.
Doubt it.
Don't see that. So we're actually seeing Giulia Zardini throwing lead stones here. As we know, with a lot of these European teams, and even some Canadian teams are getting into this now, a lot of them do have 5-person lineups, and they do seem pretty comfortable kind of playing wherever they need to on any given day. Is that something that has surprised you? Because I think when you and I were growing up, you had your position and you just played your position. How difficult of an adjustment is that, even in the middle of a slam, to maybe switch a position?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't know how difficult it is because I never had to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest switch I had to make was maybe throwing 3 rocks in a game if somebody was not feeling well or something. But it does seem they run their teams more like a traditional sports team, and I think the coaches have more say than in Canada, and it's just a different way of doing things. But whatever it takes. And Julia's also in the house. She's kind of. We talked about it yesterday. She's kind of the energy on this team. Definitely carries a fire in her game, and she holds the room when Stefania throws, and I would assume they're going to keep doing that today, but who knows?
Yeah, she was holding the broom for the draw to the button, so I assume that is the case, and we're going to see maybe a bit of an interesting call here. Sarah Wilkes makes the corner freeze, and we are seeing Giulia draw the open side. And again, not a strategy we see all the time. Looks like it's going to end up as a corner, but the call was to have it in the house. What's sort of the advantage of that, Brent? Why would you be drawing the open side in that situation?
I think trying to simplify, but I don't think it's a typical call. Normally you see that stack up in the middle, and I guess just thinking if they do make the run back, if they don't make it perfect, we can play a bit of an open end for 2 here. We did see Stefania and Team Italy play it a little bit simpler than most yesterday when they were playing against Anderson. I mean, hard to really question them. They won the game. But I think you're going to see her try and stay close to Rachel here for a long time and make it a shorter game. I don't blame her for that whatsoever.
That's what I'd be doing. You and I'd be out there trying to keep play blanks only. Let's keep it tight. Let's try to win a 1-0 game out here.
Yeah, might only get 1 or 2 misses. Let's make them like when it really counts.
Yeah, exactly. So we have Marta Lodeserto playing second here. And looking for the double. Emma Miskew not making the run back exact on the nose, so it did leave this shot there for Marta. Doesn't make the double, but
Sneaky
nestles
good.
right in front. Yeah, very nice shot.
And you wonder what causes the change. You know, is the player struggling? Is it just a pre-planned idea? And I know when Jennifer had a 5-person team, they kind of had a plan going into events. So I wonder if that's how teams are running, or if it's just, hey, the coach says I didn't play well, I'm on the bench, and as a curler, you don't have that pressure usually, but in every other sport you do. So I don't know why it's so foreign in our game.
Our egos are very fragile.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's most of what it is.
Isn't that why we became curlers in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's a safe space.
You can't make it in hockey. You just take your weak attitude to the other ice sport in Canada and see how it goes.
Right. You got to do something in the winter.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How do you think this will run, Em? I think that rock is gritty. Okay. I think this will run straighter. Okay. It should come out.
That rock is gritty. She's calling out a cutter on a firm takeout. They are dialed.
They're dialed in already, yeah. Yeah, is this the case, Brent, where, obviously a lot of curling fans, I think, know that top curling teams do keep extensive rock books and, they're aware of what each set of rocks is going to do in maybe a club that they play in every year, or the Scotties always using the same set. Is it similar for the slams? Is it the same set at every slam and something that these teams would have a book on already?
Yeah, the rocks do travel. They've got a lot of miles on them, and more than ever though, we condition the rocks, we sandpaper the rocks before every event, and sometimes even twice during an event. But as much as that changes how much they curl, the tendencies tend to show through over my experience. So everybody would have a rock book. After I stopped playing with Glenn, my joke was always, if I stole that rock book, he'd never win again. He had that little black book in his pocket, and it would have sent him in a spiral. But I had too much respect for him to do that, but I did joke a few times.
Yeah. If I ever see the Glenn Howard rock book up on eBay, I'll know exactly what happened.
I don't know how many little black books he bought, but it was always the same little flip notepad.
Little flip notepad, yeah.
He wouldn't let anybody else. You can write him down if you want, but I'm still writing him down. He didn't trust anybody with his rocks.
Well, and for Glenn, in the era that he played in NU as well, it was a lot more club play, right?
Yeah.
So, if you had, and this is a very nice roll from Tracy Fleury, phenomenal. It was like almost having your own data, because you're like, oh, well, we know there's a big tournament in Oakville every year, so we've got the Oakville rock book, and you definitely didn't want to let teams see it. I feel like at slams, maybe the Briar, where there's a more communal set of rocks, you maybe see teams be a little bit more, not necessarily that they're sharing the information, but they have no issue kind of talking about it with other teams. But it felt like when it came to the clubs, it was like, no, I've cracked the code on this club, and don't ask me about it.
For sure. Unfortunate jam there by Lena. Good throw, but missed it by nothing, and not a good situation. But absolutely, the teams do seem to be way more open about it. And it used to be you wouldn't even ask other teams because you knew they were just going to say piss off.
Yeah.
But nowadays with, 4 and 5 of these events a year, everybody tends to know, everybody's watching. Even Curling Canada now, for better or for worse, they send out rock numbers to all the national teams. And that was super foreign before. You don't get the notes with them. You get the order, though. You don't ever know why. And
so they'll tell you like the order that the team was throwing in a specific game?
Yeah, they won't have any notes on them. And it was always funny to us, again, going back to Glenn. Glenn always loved to have a stone that curled more.
Right.
And even if it was a foot or two slower, as long as it was close, he loved to have it. And all the skips would just say, well, it's Glenn Howard. He threw these. I'm going to throw these.
Mm-hmm.
And would have no idea why. And some of them would pick up on it and some of them wouldn't. And it was actually bad information, not on purpose by us.
Right. That's nice. I like that. So Tracy Fleury's guard over curls the hair. So Elena Mathis will have the chance here to if she could duplicate her last shot, it would be pretty much perfect.
Just clean, I think.
And she will. Very nice from Elena Mathis. Punishes the Tracy Fleury mistake, and Constantini lies one without hammer.
What a shot. Just easy, just barely by normal control weight.
Yeah, very nice.
First one wasn't a fluke. She did it twice. You always got to prove yourself out here.
Exactly. Sometimes it's nice when you make a little bit of a mistake on the first one and then you just get to do that one over again.
It is nice to have a do-over.
Yeah. Oh, I did it this time on purpose and it was good. Yay.
This side's running a bit better. This side's running a bit better.
So the ice was easier to draw on this morning. It'll be interesting to see if that's the case. And as much as it's an opportunity for Italy, this is a great chance for a steal for Rachel still.
Okay. Top button's ideal? Yeah. A couple feet more.
Anywhere buried in shot rock's pretty good. You hear them say top button buried is ideal.
How are you throwing it? I'll keep it there.
Oh, glad nobody ever asked me that question. How am I supposed to know? I haven't even slid yet.
Yeah.
If I'm tight, I'm going to set it. If I'm wide, I'm going to hook it. And if I'm light, I'm going to shove it.
Little light.
Yeah.
And if I'm perfect, I'm going to panic.
Yeah, exactly. How are you throwing it? Probably quite bad, to be
Yeah.
honest. This is probably what I'll do. Not much here from Emma and Sarah. Looks a little hot.
Line is perfect.
I think you can go.
Needs to slow down.
That's good.
And maybe a little deeper than they would have liked, but it is shot stone.
Really closing down the scoring area. I mean, don't imagine she can move that or doesn't want to try.
Sì, esatto. Direi un buon 6.
So probably just wants to be just shot rock. And then Rachel's going to want to guard, but might leave a kind of a long angle raise softly for 2 or 3. So a good,
Ideally, you don't want to be frozen here.
I don't think so, because that's going to be behind the button, and then if Rachel makes kind of a good freeze, you almost don't get to shoot, but I guess you'd still have that double raise. So a good opportunity for both teams. Let's leave it at that. A scary kind of situation for both teams, but a good opportunity.
So it is Giulia Zardelli in the house. Be Lo Deserto and Mathis on the sweep for Stefania Constantini's first stone. Looking to get in there for shot.
Tyler and I talked about it yesterday, but if you're going to teach somebody how to slide, you might use Stefania's delivery as a template. Pretty simple.
And maybe a little higher up than we're used to seeing some players, but very, very controlled. And she is tall.
She's
so
6 feet tall, I think, so there's that. Didn't realize watching her in the Olympics, but she was standing next to Amos.
Yeah,
So
yeah, everybody looks short standing next to him.
this looks like big trouble.
Yeah, that is a little hot from Stefania, but it does settle in there for shot at least. But yeah, definitely a good steal opportunity now for Rachel Homan if she can sink one in there.
That one, I think, and I don't speak Italian, not a lick, but I think that one fooled them how far it slid. They didn't seem too concerned. I think you would have saw them carve it earlier if they knew it was that heavy.
Is this the same line?
Well, you had said, Brent, that the ice conditions have changed a little bit since yesterday. You were here this morning. I wasn't, but we did see yesterday the draws really grind in, and we even heard Colton Flash say in the game we covered last night that the houses were kind of dead. The rocks were really grinding in, and based on Rachel's and Stefania's there, doesn't look like that's the case today. Looks like there's a little bit more of a sort of a clear slide, if you will, towards the end of the rocks journey.
That's definitely what we saw this morning. And the ice always gets better. I mean, we only have the best ice technicians in the world here. Mark Shirk's been here from day one, which is pretty impressive.
3 feet less, but I think it's good. Tight line is going to be
Guy that has a ton of other stuff going on. They think we're light and tight here. Jumped
Definitely
on it
tight
right
for
away.
sure. I don't know about light, but definitely a different path than her first one. Sarah Wilkes on it right out of the hand here. They're by the top one.
Trying to lie two now.
That's very nice. They won't lie too, but it is in there for shot. Well managed from Wilkes and Miskew. Rachel did say she wanted to throw it 3 feet lighter. That was maybe closer to 5 or 6 feet lighter, but Wilkes and Miskew got it there.
I'm sure Sarah would tell you it was 15 feet lighter. That's what I would say if I swept that one.
Oh, it would have been hogged if I wasn't out there.
And I know you'll know this, John. How far can the best sweepers in the world drag a rock?
It's a good
Nobody
question.
knows.
I've never been the best sweeper in the world.
Oh,
so
me
it's
neither.
tough to know.
I've watched them, though, and I still don't know.
You dragged Kevin's rock
Oh, that was
pretty
20
darn
feet
far
light
in
for sure.
17. That could have been 30 feet light.
I was surprised that was only a 15-1. Felt like a 17-8. It felt like that rock took forever to get there.
Yeah, sometimes on those sweeps, it really feels like you were sweeping for 3 straight minutes.
It did. It absolutely did. And an interesting situation. You spend your whole life trying to accomplish something, and before that, I remember specifically thinking, well, here we go.
Here I am.
And, I always didn't want to be the inside sweeper on this one, but here we go.
Yeah, I can still hear Ben.
Oh, God.
Gotta go, Brent. Gotta go, Brent.
Yeah.
You gotta go, Brent.
And he never calls me Brent, so I knew he was scared shitless. Really distracting.
Uh-oh.
She's just throwing this one away. Unfortunate with her first one, just leaving no chance. The run back was nothing but danger, so a great start for Rachel.
Yeah, really nice shot from Rachel on her last. Did look like Stefania was considering some kind of run back, but in the end, cooler heads prevail. Rachel Homan leads 1-0.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
So a bit of a helpless feeling there for Stefania Constantini when you're the skip of a team and you have the hammer. Pretty much the last thing you want to be doing is throwing your rock into the boards to concede one, but just a little bit heavy on her first draw, and Rachel Homan made her pay.
And it's always a nice start. I always loved it when in the first end my skip gets to throw a couple of draws to the button, especially when they make them. And it's just, I think it's a great feeling, never having skipped myself, but generally leads to good things.
Yeah, no, Rachel seems dialed in as she has been. I mean, lots of ink spilled about the season last year, only 7 losses, and thus far this year, I believe they're 11-0. So it's been, yeah, the wins and losses have been incredible.
Just checking my notes here, and is it true that the day after Ryan Fry left, they've barely lost?
I think that is true, yes. And I do believe it was, someone said it was specifically because Fry left. Actually, that might have been you.
Might
have
Coach Fry,
been you who told me that.
He did end up on a decent team.
I was going to say, how many games has Retornaz won since he's been
About the same.
charge? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you move from the world #1 women's team to the world #1 men's team. You must be doing something right.
He's going to have to switch sports.
I think so.
It's getting too easy.
Done about all there is to do in this one. Olympic gold medal, Brian world champion.
I don't think he's got that world champion. I'm going to have to correct you there.
Oh, did he? Did he lose? Did they? Oh, yeah, they did lose. You're
I
right.
think that was one of King Nick's.
Yeah, you're right.
They might have started that.
2013
problem.
was a long time ago. I was like 10 when that happened.
Well, so you can't blame you.
Yeah, barely remember.
I was supposed to win that Briar. We did not.
That's true. You were. Yeah.
They knocked us out, so that's what happens.
I liked it.
They were very hard to beat in those days.
Sure were.
No doubt about that.
This one's out there from Sarah Wilkes.
It is, yeah. Tracy really trying to bring this one off the corner, but I don't think it's going to get there. Pulling a little
tricky.
How you do audible here, and I don't think that's really that good either. So just looks like a pretty big weight there from
Ryan Fry lighting up my phone.
Why would Ryan Fry be doing such a thing?
I agree. Nick got lucky that year. That was before he got really good.
Yeah, yeah.
At least he didn't blame his skip. That's where I would have gone.
Yeah.
Brad's fault.
Brad's fault.
Nick was lucky. Brad was terrible.
Yeah, Brad played awful.
I was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the 7-time world champion, Nick Adine. Lucky worlds.
Yeah.
Lucky win. Had a lot of luck in his career, that guy. I'd like to have some of that luck.
He saves it all for the worlds, though. He doesn't waste any at the slams anymore.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's been Tough last couple of years at the slams for Nick, but hey, if you win the Worlds, who cares?
Seems to be what he gets up for. He did win a slam recently, but he wasn't playing.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to put a little salt in the wound.
Be good. Okay.
Yeah, he was having one of his 100 lifetime surgeries, I think.
Yeah, I think he runs a lot. It's almost like running on pavement's not good for the body.
Yeah, that's why I never do it.
That's what I'm going with too.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly go for a run today. I don't want to have surgery in the future.
Protecting my knees from my 80s.
Yeah, exactly. I might start jogging when I'm 80. I want to save the old knees for that.
Good looking shot here by Emma.
Yeah, nice shot from Emma Miskew. Right on the button. Homan lies 2.
So Stefania making me a liar again, going with the double corners, but I like the call. It's not a super dangerous center guard, kind of halfway-ish. Should be able to chase around everything. Saw a lot of these made this morning as well. Saw a lot of everything made this morning. Team Jacobs, even I would take a guess that Team White was the second best team on all 4 sheets today, and they kind of got it handed to them.
Elena Mathis on this right out of the hand. This is going to hit the center guard. And I was maybe a little surprised to see them playing weight at that, Brent. I mean, I guess there was room around that center guard, but I thought we might see a freeze or a small tap there.
I think probably more room for error with the freeze for sure, John. And she ended up throwing the freeze weight on the tap line, and that's why she hit the guard. But it was tight right away. But it's still not a terrible situation. Lots of corner guards to roll behind on either side. So this guard has to be... Emma really got her rocks figured out early. She's got a grinder or whatever she called it.
Gritty.
And she thinks this one's straight. The front end, you do get, whatever's left after the skip and third decide what they want.
We used to give them to the second.
I know, right? And then when I was lead, we gave him to the second, which was Craig.
Yeah.
And then when we ended up switching positions, that's when we stopped giving them to the second and we gave him to the lead.
so
we just
Craig's
gave him
problem.
to Craig.
Yeah, it's Craig's problem.
That was our theory.
Yeah, that's good.
He was just better than me, so he was better at managing them.
Our theory was always, and that's a really nice guard there from Emma Miskew. Our theory always was that, if you're second, you're probably throwing more hits. So if you have a bit of a straighter rock, then that's better for the second to have than the lead, who maybe needs to make a come around. And also, I complained louder, so
that's what it really comes down to.
That is kind of what it comes down to.
And then
guys, I don't know if I could make a shot with this rock.
Good looking run back coming here, just clean.
Yeah, very nice there from Marta Lo Deserto.
Yeah, what does Rachel throw back a tight guard? You don't want to go around the corner, but it is getting late enough that you could entertain the idea. I would think that Stefania's going to call the come around no matter where you go if you're not in the rings.
Yeah, looks like the design is to not be in the rings. Called for a halfway tight guard for Tracy Fleury here.
Good news for Rachel, if they play the come around the three yellow corners, it's really precise to stay shot rock over the red one behind the double corners on the other side. So you don't want to really give them a good guard here to go around, which they're going to.
Yeah, this is looking a little short and a little off center, so it's a bit of a miss there from Tracy Fleury. Not glaring, but one that gives Constantini maybe a chance to get the wheels on the pavement here. So they're coming around this direction. I kind of thought they might come around the rock that Tracy Fleury just threw. And work their way around these two corner guards here. This is not an easy port. It does curl quite a bit.
It's going to look really bad. This is almost on the top red and chipping behind the center. Sneaky good.
Yeah. It worked out okay. I think it's going to be open, though. Should be, yeah, it's pretty much wide open.
That kind
half
of
open for Tracy.
that kind of stuff used to drive young Rachel nuts. It was always fun to watch her reactions when the other team had a bit of a fluke. One thing you got to respect about Rachel is you usually know what she's feeling, what she's thinking.
Yeah, she's not really gifted in the art of facial deception. This was tight out of the hand. Emma Miskew on it right away. Can they get it by this center guard? Can they get it by the center guard? What a sweep. It feathers the center. Yes, it definitely touched it. What a sweep from Emma Miskew. And that's really been, I think, you talked in the pregame about Tracy's touch game working really well at third. I think one thing that's gone kind of a little underrated under the radar is how good Emma Miskew's been as a sweeper, career third. So it's not like thirds are bad sweepers necessarily, but they're sweeping less than front end players. And Emma's been a real weapon on the brush at the 2-hole.
Hard to argue with that. That was one of the other reasons, not just because I'm old, one of the other reasons I kind of left the game. One was nobody wanted to play with me. Second one was all of a sudden sweeping became really important, and we had like sweep testing and sweep training and sweep practice, and it's like, are you kidding me? I'm out of here.
Back in my day, they were just lucky to find someone who was willing to sweep.
Right? That was more like it. Yeah. Throw it better.
Yeah, exactly. It's not my problem.
I don't know why everybody just doesn't throw it like Glenn Howard. It's really easy to sweep those ones.
That worked out not too bad for Elena Mathis there. Homan still shot, but does roll one onto the rings.
Takes the blank out of play in all likelihood, but the red did stay buried, and still a chance here for Rachel. She can probably chase this though.
I think so. Yeah, unless you keep it high. No, I don't want them to chase it. Okay.
Could throw a tight guard here, wide open, kind of on the A in HearingLife.
Yes. Yeah. So just a little less than that.
But Stefania might be able to chase that shot rock wide, so I think they have to go in here.
Seems to be the plan.
Yeah, that's what I think.
14 and a half, definitely faster. We heard a lot of 14s yesterday.
Okay. If you throw a little extra, we're back in. That's it. How are you throwing it?
Interesting
Straight through. Okay.
idea to put in your skip's head just before she throws.
First stone here for Rachel Homan, already leading 1-0 and looking to apply some pressure to the Italians here. Once again, Emma Miskew picking this one up early. This is for weight. Wilkes and Miskew trying to drag it. How far can they get it? That's pretty much exactly where they wanted it. Very nice shot. And again, a rousing round of applause for Brent. Has to be said, another huge crowd here,
right?
Considering it's the middle of the day on Wednesday here in Charlottetown. The city has really shown up here, enjoying this phenomenal curling.
And this proves it's not just Gushu and Lauren Lenentine and Brett Gallant, because none of them are out here.
Yep, good
and
point.
It's still full.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's been a great vibe here. So far, we've only been here 2 days, but the draws have been mostly full. Fans have been really into it, and the curling has been fantastic.
So Team Homan just kind of applying pressure all end here. Stefania with a tough draw. I think she tapped kind of draw around that and hope for a mistake, but you're drawing awfully close to a spot where if Rachel follows you down, you're going to have to throw it away again. But she really has no choice. She could play that intern chase. Set up the bigger end. You'd have to make it twice probably though.
This is a bit of a different path from the Homan stone. A little wider, but we have seen them finish towards the middle here.
They've misjudged the speed on this, I think, pretty badly.
Like yeah, Marta and Elena coming to it quite late, and
gotta get second shot at
gotta
least.
get second. Oh boy, that is not a good spot for that one for Stefania Constantini. And yeah, we really did see Emma and Sarah were on theirs right from the start. And so that might have been a similar weight from Stefania, but they really didn't start sweeping it until 3/4 of the way down and couldn't get it there.
Fine, especially on the slam ice, as Rachel thinks this through. I think she's going to just guard the hole.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way you can give up 2 here.
Not right now. I don't see it. I guess the high corner guard into the top of the yellow across the rings, maybe for 3. That's probably what Emma's seeing because that's the shots they've been making. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if my skip was Rachel Homan, I'd be, I guess, nervous about the hero shot, maybe more so than others. But so it sounds like Brent, they're going to try to put the foot on the throat here and throw another one in the rings.
Emma's right. Top 8 on the M in Grand Slam of curling is really, really bad. Leaves kind of a half rock triple. Not that any triple's automatic, but that would be as easy as it can be. Great skip question there. Well, you guys were drilling my last one, you know, gasping for air. Did you get a time?
Is it a time on that or?
Missed it, eh?
Oh, huh.
All right, be better.
Oh, your clock's still running
yeah,
from last time? So final stone here for Rachel Homan. Looking for the T-line back button here to lie 3. Emma and Sarah think this one is cooking. Definitely a different line. And that will go all the way back. So wasn't exactly where they wanted it, but they are lying 3.
Way better there. I want to keep it clean on it.
So you can hear Emma, it slid better. Let them off the hook here a little bit. I mean, never fun to draw against 3, but I still think there was some sense in throwing the guard. I guess they were worried about that really long runner, but I like to roll the dice sometimes.
Yeah, I would too.
If I'm Team Italy here, I'm pretty happy that we have a shot to score that's wide open draw the 4 we just threw. Can't come to the backing.
Yeah, Rachel's rock ended up in a good spot as far as that's concerned. So cold draw here for Stefania Constantini. Needs full 4-foot, facing 3. Final stone. They don't like the line right out of the hand here.
It's a bad sign so far this week. We've seen those overcurl a lot when they yell early.
Marta and Elena now have to try to steer this one into the 4-foot. And that is going to stop, I think. Whoa, that just really kept going.
Rachel,
And
like the old bear Kevin Martin, once she gets her mitts on, it never stops.
No kidding. So that slides just 1 foot too far, and Rachel Homan will put another point on the board.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
So both teams having a little team meeting here at the end of N2. I don't know if this was just a sort of agreement. Yeah, you know what? We'll start when we feel like it.
What is happening?
I have no idea. Oh, maybe there's a... Oh, no, they're just both meeting with their coaches, just as you do. Victor Schell behind the bench here for Rachel Homan. Brendan Botcher not here this week, so Victor's helping them out. And, yeah, both teams just kind of chatting it up. Yeah, it's 2 ends. We'll take a 2-end break. Why didn't we think of that?
Delay a game penalty here on both
exactly.
teams.
If there was a break every 2 ends, I might still be playing.
Brendan not here this week, eh? Well, he played in the same mixed doubles event that we did and played 6 games in 36 hours, so he's probably dead too.
He could be, yeah. I don't know if he's going to be here later, but he's not here right now. So, yeah, both teams kind of taking a de facto second end break. But unfortunately for Stefania, did have a shot for one when, as you said, Brent, for quite a while there, didn't look like they would. And unfortunately just comes a little deep. And I thought your point in the break was well made. That's a shot yesterday I think we would have absolutely seen stop in the forefoot. No, but that was a really good observation that the Rocks are just gliding that little bit extra today.
Yeah, yesterday everything was coming down and curling and dying, and as a sweeper, that was always what I was looking for. I didn't want to have to be too precise, so I tried to make the margin for error the biggest. Is it more likely that it's going to slide at the end, or is it going to stop? And if it's going to slide, I got to be patient, and if it's going to stop, I can sweep it early. So trying to give yourself a margin for error, and it looks like the ice is, especially after a couple. You heard Emma say it after Rachel's second. That slid better. So
yeah, for sure. Rachel's went deeper than they thought too.
No question. But Stefania's looked like it was going to stop full forward. It didn't even stop in a piece of the forefoot.
And speaking of Rocks not stopping, oh, that just stops in time for Julia Zardini. It kind of looked like that was going to go, but maybe just a little bit of a fresher path there. It stopped in time. So very tight corner guard for Julia.
I think Rachel sees blood in the water and called the second center guard here. Maybe has a lunch reservation or something, I'm not sure.
Yeah, could be. I mean, if we get out of here early and we can grab some lunch, right? Works for me too.
It's not going to end up where they want. That path not fully up to speed.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too. We saw quite a few Rocks in a row on that out-turn draw path, so it could just be a case of, you know, once it's multiple Rocks down, then it gets a little bit quicker, and that's pretty normal, and also a sign that the ice is working its way into championship conditions.
Pretty good setup here for Team Italy. Make a good come around here, top 8. The runbacks are kind of hooked. Team Homan, I don't think I'm speaking out of school to say they're probably the best run-back team in women's curling. Alina Pets would be very close.
Yeah, tough to disagree with that.
But when the Rocks are hooked and they're overlapped, it doesn't really matter how good you are at them.
Okay. The spot was up to speed. Yeah. Quad 14.
Yeah, you couldn't be running them now anyway, obviously, with the 5 Rock rule, but definitely going to be perhaps more of a draw game this end as Emma Miskew will look to freeze here.
Good conversation there from Emma to the Brushers about this path, and they're thinking this will slide like the good stuff last end.
Sarah really trying to work this one. And it's a lovely sweep from Sarah Wilkes. Doesn't quite get to the face of it, but ends up right in front.
I tried to fling it out there, but it was just didn't matter.
Playing the double peel here.
I find that very confusing.
Better result than the double peel, I think, but that's still not a very good result.
Yeah, what would be the reasoning there? Just trying to keep it close, like you said earlier. I thought for sure with shot stone, you'd be either coming around the corner or putting another one around the centers.
Yeah, that's kind of what we saw from them yesterday, and they have a game plan, as every team does, and just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean it's wrong. Yesterday it worked well. They won the game. But that, especially down 2-0, but I think that must be the idea. Let's get this to a 4-end game. Let's make sure we're within a couple. Double centers, you know, looked good early, but.
I mean, Rachel up 2 is all too happy to keep it clean here, peeling the corner guard now.
Speaking of
try to
interesting
roll into the
calls,
house.
though,
Yeah.
This wasn't on my bingo card.
No.
secretly calling the double on the yellows here?
Well, she was calling the hit and roll in. I don't know about the double specifically, but that's a really good shot.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, would you have thought they would have just hit the red?
I would have thought
Lie
so.
to?
I mean, you're still leaving a corner guard, but I guess it is a red one. This isn't also not on my bingo card.
Or something? You're just like, yeah.
The hit and stay is pretty good result, though, I guess. A lot of teams would play the freeze over here. At least make it somewhat difficult. But hoping to distract Rachel from the action in the middle. Don't want to roll to where this is a run double.
I don't
think she's okay.
I think she's okay, yeah. Yeah, Rachel doesn't even entertain looking at that, so maybe we're going to trade a few hits here. Wilkes on this right out of the hand. And that will roll just a little bit, and so that's not an ideal landing spot for that.
Oh, can't play this shot either.
Yeah, I kind of thought they would make the double on the reds here, would you not?
Well, it's something, or
at least make a play on those two stones.
You could chase the back. I mean, this is, shouldn't say you can't play this. If this over curls the nose and freezes, it's pretty good. But anything that doesn't get to the nose here, I would kiss those two yellows in the house goodbye.
Well, we'll see if Elena Mathis can find the stagger here.
Needs to just fight center, just cross center a little bit. Line looks close if she's not heavy.
Yeah, Lotus Erto trying to bring this one over.
Just a little heavy.
And that is
nice
disaster. Pucker up.
Right?
You can kiss those two yellows goodbye, I think, here. Yeah, just interesting strategy this end here from Constantini, and a chance for Tracy Fleury here to make them pay.
Sounds close. Almost anything nose or a little low, and
bingo.
Oh, missed it light. But is line 3.
Yeah, nice shot there from Tracy Fleury. I think Rachel seemed happy with it, so I think she maybe thought they were going to go a little bit more than they did.
They hit it a little high. They hit it that much on the other side. I think it flies out. But a pretty good result.
And it's going to be a few shots before Constantini can make that other yellow count.
Trying the double. She holds the broom kind of behind everything, and obviously her team's okay with that. Different than a lot of teams, but trying to make the top double, I think, here, John, and you got to hit the second one fairly thick to miss that back yellow. But not throwing it very hard. It's just playing the roll behind the corner. That doesn't really help you all that much. Red roll to a bad spot for Stefania and Team Italy. Pretty safe situation now for Rachel.
Yeah, probably didn't maybe see that roll coming, did Team Constantini. And so if Rachel can hit and stick here, they'll continue to lie 3. And as you say, Brent, looking pretty good for a force here if you're Team Homan.
The Italians are going to have to make a perfect corner freeze on the red one buried above the tee line, just on an inch of it, and get shot rock somehow.
Are you going to keep it there? Okay.
So when they're talking about keep it there, how are you going to throw it? They're talking about release. They're at the stage of their golf career where they're working the ball both ways, I guess.
Looks like it might be rolling out here. No, just curls in time. So it is still Team Homan lying 3 without the hammer. And Stefania, I think, is going to try to draw around everything here.
Could be. She's got to be tired of these shots she's
Yeah.
Setting up for herself. Partially strategy, partially misses at the wrong time.
Penso che viaggerà uguale. Secondo me è un track dove potrebbe rallentare un po' siccome è centrale.
Got that. That was, can you guys set me up a little bit better next end? Pretty sure that's accurate.
Yeah.
How about an open hit for 2? Draw the 8-foot.
I'd love that. Yeah, sometimes you don't need to speak a language to infer what's going on. She maybe said it a little more politely than that, but...
I'll save you ladies one more time.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have to turn it around.
Yeah.
Kevin Martin was the best at that with his team. When he really was in trouble and the guys were struggling, he was like, well, John, got any ideas?
You tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. You got me here. Get me out.
You tell me.
Jumped on it right away. You see the sweeping technique there. A lot of teams now going with that just heavy plow. I have to admit, Wayne Madaw was ahead of his time because that's all he ever did. This looks really close.
Yeah, that looks very good.
Just overswept.
Yeah. Just a hair click and should be pretty accessible here for Rachel Homan. We take another look at it on the replay. Just
it's coming in perfect. If that's a rock lighter, it stops right there.
Yeah.
Instead,
just some slight mismanagement there from Matheson at Lo Deserto, and I think it's going to be once again Stefania Constantini drawing against a bundle.
Rachel just ripping this out of there, not worried about her shooter. Probably comfortable leaving them that same draw.
Final stone here for Rachel Homan in the third. Sarah on this right out of the hand. Is it by the guard? It is. Is it by the other one? Oh my gosh.
Whew. When things are going good, things are going good.
No kidding. Holy moly.
That went through the guard.
That was wild. Unbelievable.
We saw a little look to the stars from Rachel.
Yes, absolutely. You don't see that too much from Rachel, but...
not my best, but a pretty damn good result.
Yeah, result is perfect. If you knew that you could miss the guard by that much, you'd do it every time. But, yeah, she would have liked that to be a little more comfortable. Fantastic sweep from Sarah Wilkes, has to be said, as we can hear them saying, oh, my God, that's really close. Rachel's in her mind palace right now. Can't believe she almost gave up 2.
Change the draw path here too, making her go wider. It should be the same speed. They team Homan through a couple draws here, but you don't want to have to draw against every end, especially 3 and 4 like the last couple ends.
Yeah, it was a draw against 3 last end, and it's a draw against 4 here for Stefania Constantini. Needs the full 4-foot. She couldn't come up with it last time. We'll see if she's got it here. Final stone.
Another kind of carved dump sweep when it's heavy.
Yeah, this is really hanging out there. Oh boy, that's ugly.
Isn't it?
Nice shot from Stefania Constantini.
No
in my day, we called that sweeping cheating, but they made it all the same. 1 up on the board for Constantini. Our first look at Rachel Homan with the hammer when we come back.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line. It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
So Stefania Constantini able to find her draw weight on that last one in the third. 2-1. Rachel Homan leads. And Brent, this fourth end does have a bit of that feel of You know, Rachel, obviously 2 steals, has been kind of lurking in the weeds, now has the chance to strike with the hammer. I think we'll see them be pretty aggressive here.
Agreed. Yeah, I think they feel like they're all over this team and controlling the play, and their first chance with hammer. Even my young daughters have it figured out that they used to say, "Mommy, if you never have the hammer, you'll always win."
That's a good point.
All right?
That's well said.
It's pretty simple, this game. So Rachel pretty happy to have the hammer once this game. Maybe crack a 2 or 3 here and keep the pressure on. Gonna go around the center. Good start there from Julia. On the center line, just short of the rings. Rachel would also be happy with a blank here, but Sarah Wilkes won the Scotties at 3rd for Chelsea Carey. Got to call this a bit of a powerhouse team or a super team, whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a
lot of thirds.
2 thirds. Yeah, you got 2 thirds playing front end. You got a skip playing third. And
right.
You have maybe the greatest women's player of all time, or certainly close, at the skip position.
So they should win a lot of games. We've seen the all skip team. We've never seen the all lead team, John. And obviously you would skip that.
Yeah, I can't sweep anymore, so I might have to. I would love an all-lead team. I think you qualify. You played enough lead in your life.
A little bit of lead here and there.
Yeah. Well, if Ben Heaves is done after this quad, maybe it can be
him.
You, me, him, and who else is an asshole? We'll be the all-lead / asshole team.
Savil's a pretty big asshole.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it. Yep. There we go. Done.
And I can hear Ben now. My phone's about to light up, and he says, "I skipped that team for sure."
100%.
Yeah.
You think Cullen skips that team? Cullen's not even on that team. That's what he's going to say. And that's fine. I'll coach.
Yeah. Okay.
That can be moral support.
Okay. 4 feet less.
So a nice shot from Sarah Wilkes and a very nice shot from Julia Zardelli, freezing right on top.
Sarah, I think, beat Rachel in that Scotties final, did she not? And then kind of stole the win, I think.
They did, yeah. That was a miss we weren't used to seeing from Rachel, but yeah, came up light on a draw, if I recall correctly. I do believe it was a stolen win.
And Michelle Brown with one of my favorite winning reactions. I can't say what she said, but we just won the Scotties with another word in the middle.
Yep.
The politest potty mouth in the world, I think,
absolutely.
would be Rochelle. Yeah.
Yep.
So big chance here of bouncing off there, leaves a pocket. Stefania with a good call here. Freeze right on the yellow. You can bounce off the red a little bit, and Rachel's got a problem. Emma's going to have to do clean up on aisle 3 here.
Yeah, we haven't seen Homan behind the 8 ball too much in this game so far, but this is an opportunity to do it for Marta Lodeserto.
The Italians almost haven't been shot rock this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right.
This is looking pretty good. Got to get low, though.
That's very nice.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Kanema knows that, though. It didn't quite curl enough to get piece buried. Best shot's the runner.
Yeah, this is a case where maybe you'd see a team that's not as strong at run backs just take a run at the open one, get rid of that top yellow, but we obviously know Emma has this in her locker. Would love to get 2 yellows out of play here. Tracy trying to bring this one over, and they'll only get rid of 1 yellow and leave 2 on the center line, so not a great result there, but not bad.
She's not playing that across the top, I guess. Kind of hit it in between. Higher would have been good, and if it curled a little bit, it would have been good. That's not a great result, though. Guarding 2 in the 4-foot now, only lying 1, but still a good chance for Team Italy.
So a reminder that we do have every game streaming live here on Home Team Live. So if you're wanting to watch another game at the same time as this one, or maybe even 3 more. It's a all women's draw out here. It's Delaney Strauss leading 3-1 over Carrie Anerson. Xenia Schwaller is trailing Yunji Kim 2-1, and Selena Sturmey out to an early 3-0 lead over Isabella Rana. All those games available on Home Team Live. So another runner here for Emma Miskew. And that will get one of the yellows. It's very nice.
Almost automatic.
It's a good place. It's a good place to be in, you know, and I'm sure you've been there as a long time second when you just, you know, when your mechanics feel really good and you feel so comfortable with that up weight. It's a great place to be in.
I don't specifically recall that, but yeah, it would be nice.
I mean, I don't know. Don't sell yourself short. I watched a lot of games where run backs seemed pretty automatic for you, Mr. Lang, regardless of what was going on in your mind at the time.
Every now and again.
So they're going to come down and have a team chat here, looks like. Not calling a timeout.
Wanting to play the guard, I'm sure, but knowing that if they're off at all, timeout. They do want to talk to the coach.
Take a timeout here, an early timeout here for Stefania Constantini in the 4th end here. They have been playing a little on the slow side. They're 2 minutes behind Team Homan in time, so not a bad idea to take the timeout here.
You know who their coach is, John?
I don't actually.
Sounds Swedish to me.
Yeah.
That's Swedish English.
Yeah, Swenglish.
Yeah.
Try to get through this with maybe a blank or maybe a roll out from them and you can go from there.
Do you think they will go for the roll around the corners or the double, if we know?
I think she probably will try to roll. Yeah. And in that case, you have to chase after the freeze after that.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
The coach kind of confirming what we said. Defensive call here. It is early, and if their strategy is to stay close, the hit's probably the play, but more times than not, it's going to lead to a blank at best and a simple deuce at worst. Like if this rolls to her broom, and then Tracy makes a roll in front of it, that there's a very easy split up top too, that I'm sure Rachel's eyeing up. I think I'd take a chance here and throw the guard, as long as you don't show them the right half as we're behind the sheet. She wouldn't be able to remove it even if you over curled a bit.
So looking for the nose here, Elena Mathis. And she finds it. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Brent. Just you heard the coach, literally the first words from the coach were exactly what you had said, that if you throw the guard and you miss it at all, you're probably giving up 2.
Yeah.
So that's maybe as much of a respect call as it is anything else based on the way Team Homan is playing right now.
But if you thought that you were going to be able to miss out here and beat Rachel, you shouldn't have probably showed up.
And that's also a fair point. Emma Miskew on this out of the hand. This is really curling.
Can they even stay in the rings here? Anything behind the guard would be good. Ooh, a little Jesus out of one of the sweepers.
Uh-oh.
That could be the start of the downward spiral. That's it.
Could be. This is it. Yeah, Tracy has just been a little tight all day, actually. So we've seen a lot of sweeping on her shots.
That was definitely out of her hand. There was no surprise there from anybody. Tracy, I'm sure, knew it too. The worst thing as a player is when you don't feel off. Like you let it go and you love it and your skip keeps yelling.
Yeah.
Then you got to go down, feel like a bit of an idiot and say, am I really tight there?
Yeah, exactly. I thought I threw that good.
It doesn't feel, yeah. And it's like once it starts with it doesn't feel, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's when you're in trouble.
Chance to steal here now. Throw a tight guard. I don't think you're going to see Rachel call the draw. Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, nice shot from Elena Mathis, and kind of the first end we've really seen Constantini with any control.
I don't think you can get it in either. I think Rachel's right. That one just kind of stays there. Oh, she changed her vote.
It's not bad.
Both to roll on. To get the shooter on is really, really thin.
Yeah, you'd have to hit it really thin, and then you're maybe not hitting the red one enough to
I don't think it's
get it to roll
on. But so, again, if that's what I think, these are probably both going to end up in the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Book it.
We've been off on the angles a little bit so far.
We'll blame it on not being dead behind the sheet for now.
Yep. And one will go on.
Good result.
Pretty good, yeah.
I think that was the best they could have really done there.
I agree. So nice shot from Tracy Fleury. Does put a red one onto the rings and will force Stefania Constantini to hit it.
John, my mom says you sound good. That's good news.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Lang.
Right?
Your son's carrying me. I'm just doing my best out here.
Probably wants the long roll here, I would think. Anything in front's going to set up a very makeable double for Rachel, and the nose probably isn't in the rings. Maybe just. Switching to the fourth here now. The steal kind of fell apart with that shot from Tracy.
First rock for Stefania Constantini, trying to find some separation between these two lemons. And it'll go right in front, so I believe this shot is what we refer to as Rachel Homan's wheelhouse.
This will be close. Lined up so that if she does jam the double, at least the shooter's probably going to roll a little bit out of the way, so there's no disaster result here, I don't think.
We haven't seen the big weight from Rachel yet today, but we're getting a chance here. And no mistake made.
Just calling the sweep for, for visual effects.
I was going to say, I was like, when she called Emma on, I was like, it looks pretty close to me.
Yeah.
But makes it perfect, sticks it right in the top 12. And I believe we're heading for a blank here.
Love to see the call out of her hand there. It's good, girls. Just stay with me.
Just stay with me.
You want to sit and watch art?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll put all your money on a blank end here now, I think. I mean, I guess she could try and roll behind the corner, give it a go, but she's playing that awkward turn to do that, so I'm not sure if that's even on her mind.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Trying to nose it by the looks and sounds of it.
Yeah, so never considering going behind that corner guard. Would have been a tough shot and probably still would have been an easy blank for Rachel, but this is even easier. I think you could hit this on the nose and get the blank. Not that she'll be trying to do that, but option is available. Final stone for Rachel Homan to conclude the first half of the game. And no mistake. So the score will stay the same. We'll take a break.
when you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a Gold Line. It's a Gold Line. It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions. I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice.
So we are taking a fourth end break. Haven't seen these at the Slams too often, but we decided yesterday that there are 3-minute breaks now to be taken in between the fourth and fifth ends. And it's been a tight game so far, 2-1. Rachel Homan leading Stefania Constantini. Rachel Homan will have the hammer when we eventually come back. Here at the HearingLife Tour Challenge, live from the Bell Alliance Center in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, it's John Cullen alongside Brent Lang. And Brent, I think the first half of that game kind of went as we expected. You sort of correctly predicted off the top of the show that maybe Stefania Constantini's game plan was to keep it close, and she's done that so far. And Rachel Homan has just been doing what she does, making shots with machine-like efficiency.
Yeah, advantage Team Homan, not just on the scoreboard, but momentum-wise, and just, you know, there's a lot of mental parts of this game. And right now, I think Team Italy is thinking, yeah, we're getting outplayed, but we are only down 1. We don't have the hammer, but get a force here, and if they can get a half shot at a Team Homan and snag a deuce and tie this up after 6, all of a sudden it becomes almost anyone's game. But Rachel and company really controlling this one so far. We got a bunch of tight games across the rings here, though. Team Strauss and Team Anderson tied at 3 at the fourth end break. Team Schwaller versus Team Gim about to go to fourth end. Gim up 2-1 with the hammer, and in a little bit of trouble here, though.
Yeah,
and then 3-0 Team Sturmey versus Team Sweden, Team Rana.
Yeah, Team Sturmey almost had that amazing comeback last night. They were playing Yinji Gim, and they were down 3 in the 8th, scored 3 to tie it up, send it to an extra, and Selena had a shot on her first one to really put some pressure on Yinji, but unfortunately just didn't quite get on the right side of a takeout attempt, and so Yinji ended up having a double for the win. But it was a great comeback for them, and obviously came into this morning with a lot of confidence, leading that one 3-0. And of course, as we said earlier, you can watch all of these games on Home Team Live. Our game is the only one with player mics and the dulcet tones of myself and Brent, but the other 3 are available in video format, as are all the games all week long here from the Tour Challenge.
Still waiting for my first social media picture of somebody with 4 different screens watching all 4 games.
I know, right? We haven't had the quad box yet.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be doing that out there.
Oh, no question about it. Yeah, I did see some comments yesterday in the curling Discord, something to the effect of, you know, wanting to see how the streaming was going to go, and then they were very happy with how it went yesterday, and they said, I may have to invest in an extra monitor or 2 if this is going to be the setup moving forward.
Right.
So I don't blame them. You know, little buyer beware, got to see how things are going, but if they're going well, and they have been so far, it's been great working with you and Tyler and the whole crew at Home Team. I think yeah, there may be that the purchasing of monitors across Canada may increase over the next few months.
We had insider knowledge. We should have bought some shares in those companies.
Yeah.
Finally get insider knowledge, and I don't act.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tough miss from Julia there. It's similar setup to last end. Sarah not wanting to go right to the button. That's 2 feet heavy, but with this miss, if she can make up for this one top 4, then perfect start for Team Homan.
Tracy trying to get this one to curl, but can she bring it all the way over? Good sweep there from Tracy Fleury. Starting to figure out the sweeping thing is Tracy after being sort of a lifetime skip.
Right?
Did a nice job bringing that one over.
I could hear Rachel yelling distance, which tells me that they think the knifing slows it down and that the plow angle still finishes it, not as much, but drags it farther. I think that's kind of the universal belief right now, although there are still some different techniques, including the Europeans tend to, when they carve, have way longer strokes. Have you noticed that one, John?
Yep.
And there are a lot of people from, a lot of the Europeans, maybe they're just young and energetic, but they're bouncing when they sweep, like hopping onto the broom.
Yeah, I think that's a style that was sort of popularized by Pablo Le Chat Couchepin.
Yeah, and it doesn't look cool, so they're not doing it for that reason.
No, it definitely doesn't look cool. And you want to talk about future knee replacements. That's almost a surefire way to ensure that's going to happen.
Right.
But, you know, if you think it does the job, why not? That's a pretty nice shot there from Marta.
Really good.
Yeah, Rachel still lying 1, but definitely a little less dangerous of a situation here for Stefania. And speaking of that Sturmey and Rana game, it was a big 4-ball of knowledge for Isabella Rana in the 4th. So a 3-0 lead for Selena Sturmey completely erased. Rana now leads that one 4-3. Sturmey will have the hammer in the 5th.
A little solid. No, weight's good. Weight's good.
Sturmey was I would say, the darling of the Scotties last year. The hometown Scotties first time that they were there. Well, not for Desiree Hawes, but for the other 3 members of the team. And I think, they played really well, captured the imagination of the hometown crowd. Had a nice playoff run there, and nice to see them in a Tier 1 slam here. So it was a nice shot from Emma Miskew, and Marta Lodeserto will try to make the hit back. This is
light and tight.
Light and tight.
Yeah, terrible.
Trying for the roll there, and did not quite get it.
Switching, this isn't a call you would see Rachel make. Historically, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't make this call myself. I think I'd hit and roll on the top one and roll far.
Even a 14.
Yeah, what do you not like about this call?
Well, it's fine if you make it, but you're still leaving that yellow one in a good spot where they can kind of bump that back, or they might just play the straight out turn freeze right onto the one on the side button. Then you'd have to make a double, which seems to be a kind of an open hit for Team Homan right now. So maybe that's the plan.
Maybe that's the plan, yeah. Sweepers think this one's heavy.
The line looks pretty good.
It's definitely a little more weight than they were expecting, but pretty good from Emma.
Good sweep, Tracy.
Oh, raised double is there. I think leave that for now, yeah. Even if this goes to the back one, I think it's early enough in the end. There's enough rocks to pile up. Somebody's going to end up on the button. I'm okay with this if I'm Italy, I think.
Yeah, it's Rachel Homan lying 2, but there are definitely options here for Elena Mathis.
They don't like the speed early. Here we go. Get the shovel out. Made a big move after the blizzard rolled in.
Yes, it did.
So not perfect, but what does Rachel do with that? To not leave a pocket, needs to remove it. It's pretty buried.
Sure. I don't care. Whatever. Sure.
Very agreeable, yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm going to make my last one anyway, so whatever you want to do.
Who cares? I don't care.
So.
Always been one of the more nonchalant skips. Used to make me laugh when Rachel would be calling like a draw to the button for her teammate, and she's standing almost on the center line, and the broom's out at the edge of the 8-foot, and she's looking left.
Yeah.
Went to the Randy Furby School of Ice Reading.
Yeah.
First time I played with Randy, early in the game, I asked him for more ice, and he says, "What?" I said, "Can I get some more ice?" "Sure, just take it. Just make the shot."
Yeah. You don't need my broom to move.
No.
You just slide wide.
Well, do you think I'm putting this thing down like precisely? No. That's
This
your
is
job.
just a guide, man. Yeah.
Dave just makes everything no matter where I put it.
Yeah.
Fife too. Marcel even. I'm the only one that misses shots on this team.
And that's because I'm not holding the broom.
Yeah. So we're going to put the guard back here. It's still a pretty good situation. Definitely lots of danger, but right on the button.
This is in the ring.
Here.
Yeah, I think they're playing the freeze. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very risky. But that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, if they nose it hard, what happens? I don't think you're going to like that result.
Rachel's trying to decide here. Yeah, I think we...
If that had curled a little bit more, it would have been crazy good. If that gets low on the yellow.
Yeah.
But now I think they just drill it on the nose and you lie first and third and not really any hits on the reds. Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly as you thought, Brent. And I'm guessing, Brent, you want to be right on the nose of this one here.
I think so. I'm not big into the switch and turns based on the shot, but this looks like an out-turn shot to me. She did just throw this in-turn. It needs to... If this hits it a little high, I don't know how far the back one goes. Tracy throws it hard, but not Emma and Rachel hard.
Just like that.
Pretty good.
Yep, it's pretty good indeed.
Not a good situation for the Italians at all now. Don't see anything very good, John.
Yeah, this is what we used to describe on my team, Jonice, as a no joy situation.
No joy.
Where no matter what shot you're making, you're not going to feel too great about it when it's over. Well, we can do this. Well, that's kind of bad. Well, we could do this. Ooh, that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Well, I
done
guess
something sooner.
Yeah, I guess this is the best of the bad, but I still don't feel great about it.
I think she just kind of has to hit it high and leave the red there and hope Rachel leaves her a double. Or even kind of nose it hard. I don't know. No joy for sure.
No joy. Yeah. It's one of those where you think maybe if we just talk about it for another 30 seconds, something good will materialize. And eventually you just go, you know what? I think we're hooped.
I think we're just going to run out of time instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
okay.
Burning them all.
Yeah,
Help.
So all the timeouts now
Mayday.
gone for
Mayday.
Team Constantini.
Yikes. See if the coach has found any joy in this situation.
I can't imagine he has.
Questo è vero. Se tu fai 7 ottavi esterni della 6, va via solo la 7 e la 6 gialla e rimaniamo là. Però la 6 intanto viene. No, la 6 si incastra. Options. Allora, or freeze.
Freeze.
Probably just peel out the yellow.
Yeah. Or just peel nose. These two goes and we stay here and this stays here.
I think it's probably best of the worst.
I don't know. We have doubts.
I think we need to get rid of that one red.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we need to get
I think the mystery man coach is correct.
Who are you? I tried to Google Constantini coach and like 4 different names came up, so that was not. That didn't work.
I think he's new because I think Ryan mentioned earlier this year that they were looking for a coach for the Italian ladies.
Maybe a little bit on that side.
I would think they would have got lots of applications with them on the rise in the Olympics in Italy.
That one out. And try to keep the yellow as well. So the red more or less stay beside the yellow.
So, have contact also on this?
If you cannot do that, it's good.
So just this?
No, try to say a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
A 10? She didn't like that.
She didn't like that at all.
I don't see a shot with a 10 either, actually.
Then they have a double.
That sounded like me disagreeing about the score of a music review online. A 10?
Seriously? Did you even listen to it?
That's a 7.
Yeah. Allora dobbiamo prenderla piuttosto 3/4. Okay.
A 10 is not hard enough to do anything but hit it high and roll off and kind of leave the 2 on the button, 1 red, 1 yellow, which it isn't crazy.
Yeah, I don't know that that's the. I mean, certainly not the weight Stefania wanted to play.
Yeah.
She left no doubt about that.
You kind of see what she sees and kind of hit it hard on the nose and stay close that way. The 10, if you try and make it really good, like they're really trying to keep the shooter, and if it overcurls a little bit, if it hits the yellow first, both reds are going to stay in the house. Rachel doesn't have any problem making doubles, so. They've got it figured out, though. They can't have much time left. 13 minutes. That's plenty of time. Wow. They must have burnt 3 minutes here, and they still have 13, so. They don't have any timeouts, John.
We could see my favorite thing, which is a 8th end time crisis. Love when teams go into time crisis mode. I mean, I do think part of it is Stefania Constantini has one of the more deliberate in-hack routines of any of the top players. She takes about 20-ish seconds in the hack before she throws. So the team also has to account for that. In any case, after that long interlude, Stefania Constantini going to try to excise themselves from trouble here.
Pretty good.
Exactly what they wanted. But as we say, not necessarily a joyful result.
Hard not to leave a double.
We're already shot.
I don't think that matters.
Make sure we get one safe shot for the hit. We're just giving her a double right
So we just got the text. Paul Webster says the coach is Soren Gran.
That is Soren. That's who I thought it was yesterday, but I didn't get a good look at him.
Probably Soren Gran.
So he's Swedish. We were correct about the
you were correct. That was
Swenglish.
Swenglish, yes.
Soren's been around the game a long time.
To ever leave her away to make a double, like if we ever stay high on the tap.
Like, even if we go and move it a little bit,
Seems like an
still
auto
to
double
jam.
for her. Okay.
I just want to make sure we get one, and if we tap it a little bit, like, I don't know.
We're already shot, so even if I don't tap it.
If you tap it a little far, should we you could be drawing against like 5.
Yeah,
so.
that's my concern too, Emma.
Okay. If we go more here, she probably has to guard this, and then you should have a double for 3.
Just think there's like a 2-foot window here.
I see what you're saying. I do. Do you want to call it time?
Rachel's not wrong either.
Speaking of Swenglish, here comes Victor Schell.
Nice. Yeah, he hardly even has an accent.
I know.
He's like those NHL Swedish players.
Totally.
Canadian,
married a Canadian and has lived in Canada for long enough now.
Like it could jam into it. Like it's not
inching ever closer to coming out there and being like, so what do you want to do here, guys?
I think he studied English exclusively under the tutelage of Peter Stesky in Toronto, so he knows all of the words, colorful and not.
I don't think it'll fall. I can't hit too thin or it's gone.
Yeah, Pete has an extensive dictionary. There's no doubt about that.
Okay. That's what Rachel likes.
He likes what Rachel likes. The best shot.
Yeah. We're already shot. We don't have to move it. I would like to move it to line 2, but
What can't we do? Like, where
we
can't
can't tap it to here.
Yeah.
Stay high.
It's got to be precise. And
I think, try that.
Has to be precise, but not crazy, as long as you don't under curl. Quite a few spots it can be.
Yeah.
I think this is our fault. Are you doing the double or just the roll? On the last
Yeah, the double. Me keep just a roll.
Okay.
If it
Probably make
comes
the
up,
triple
it's
here.
fine, but
They've decided not to take the risk of having to throw against 3, 4, or 5 if they're just a little off.
heel. Okay, so it doesn't have a chance to stop.
How much weight? Okay.
How are you throwing it?
Perfect. That's how I'm going to throw it.
I think I'm just going to I'd probably make it, I guess, and then that's probably my plan. First stone here for Rachel Homan in end number 5. She did not love it out of her hand.
Like it. Ooh, that's a big miss for Rachel.
Yeah, we don't see her miss those too often with that big weight, and not a tremendous stealing situation here for Constantini, but can absolutely put the pressure on Rachel Homan's last. Lie 4.
She's going to roll broom side here. I didn't see the call. Probably that's the safest and
I
easiest.
believe that was the call, yeah.
And a force here is great. I mean, as much as it's kind of exciting here to lie 4, just make sure this rebbing goes away.
Yeah, no need to get cute here, that's for sure.
Do you like normal?
If you knew you were going to make it, you'd play back line and hit and roll low on this one and stay full 4-foot, mostly buried, and make Rachel have a tough draw. But the risk there is you jam it and leave her a double for 2. You already got the miss you're going to get out of her, so.
Yeah, exactly.
See? We needed that in like the 8th end on her last shot.
Yeah.
Didn't wait long enough.
Last rock, Stefania Constantini.
Almost the same shot she just threw, really. It's pretty good.
Makes the red go away, and it does stick around. And so a turn of events here. The last, 2 of the last 3 ends, we saw Stefania Constantini drawing against 3 and 4. And now it's Rachel Homan's turn. Whether she's hitting or drawing, it's against 4.
She's not running down the ice to draw, so it tells me she's probably going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen Rachel draw a ton this game. And Emma told her she should draw, and now she's drawing. So very nonchalant again. You guys like the draw? Okay. Sure.
Why not? I thought she was going to hit. Just the fact that she didn't run down the ice for the draw tells me she's not totally certain.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's the same line as Emma. Hair wider.
I think what convinced her is Emma kind of said, if you come onto the back one, we're only giving up a steal of 1, which, you know, I think they'd probably prefer not to give up a steal of 1.
That's for sure. Not a great thought to have, but
no.
Yeah, I don't think you want a 15. As a sweeper, I definitely don't want to see a 15.
So final stone for Rachel Homan here in the 5th. The first time she's felt a little pressure all game, drawing against 4 and needs a piece of the 4-foot. Emma is on this early. Wilkes is joining in now too.
Uh-oh.
Can they get it there? Can they get it there? Rachel has fully backed off onto the side of the sheet. She knows it's not close. Can they even cut them down at all? And that is a steal of 2 for sure. It is 2, I believe.
Yep.
Wow. You can see even in the replay here, Rachel just fully backed off to the side. She knew she pulled the string on that one. A great sweep from Miskew and Wilkes, but a steal of 2 for Stefania Constantini. And they have their first lead of the game.
There's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions. I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Well, we're still reeling here in the booth. We don't see those mistakes from Rachel Homan too often, but she comes up light, and it is Stefania Constantini in the lead. Maybe she did get the miss at the right time, Brent.
I guess so. I mean, a steal of 2 is always a big swing in any game, especially when it's only 2-1. So all of a sudden here, Italy up 1 playing the 6th end. See how Rachel responds here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing here for Rachel, obviously that's an unfortunate miss and a bit of an unforced error, but you don't really need to blow your brains out here. This is still just a 1-point game, and you have the hammer in 6. So it's a good place to be. You score 2 here, and you're probably where you wanted to be before the game started. So
Yeah, no doubt. And you do have to lean back on the idea that they have still controlled the whole game. Even the last end wasn't really trouble by any means.
So corner guard up here for Sarah Wilkes, right on the H of the HearingLife. You may have seen online, but a brand new clothing line has launched for the Grand Slam of Curling. You can check that out at therockshop.net online, or if you're here in Charlottetown, we've got a rock shop set up here in the lobby. I'm wearing one of the finest rock-based t-shirts right now, and Brent is nodding at me like it looks good. So yeah, huge selection of clothing and other items, and we're going to be doing specific items at every event. I don't know if you saw, Brent, but I had a Charlottetown Curling Club logo sweater on yesterday when I was doing some stuff with Team Mowat, and there's also a Team Guju Highway shirt. So a lot of fun stuff. Check it out, therockshop.net.
I was wandering through there yesterday and meant to go back and pick up my gear. But yeah, lots of great stuff in there, and a long overdue idea.
Absolutely, yeah.
New logo is super cool too for anybody who's into curling and the slams, one or the other or both. You can see it in the rings.
So just a little light there for Sarah Wilkes, and it's staggered corner guards.
Di questa qui mi chiudi anche il panorama. Sì, non sono contro. Almeno chiudiamo anche le corner. Se noi facciamo questo, però lei ha vita dura fare questo.
So coming into the rings again. Good guard here. This will leave a hit and roll behind the guards of some sort for Team Homan. I always feel like when you're trying to force somebody to one and not give up 2, the longer you can keep them hitting guards, the better. Not the worst result, but a free run at a hit and roll behind the corner guard here. And then the double peel will come into the rings a lot of the time, so you got to be careful with that. I would say advantage Homan here, even though Constantini's line 3.
I just don't want to push them
So you heard Emma say high side here. They'd like to get at least 2 of these yellow stones moving and then roll their shooter behind the corner guards.
That's good.
And high side, of course, is some of you were asked yesterday, is the broom side of the rock. This one's over curling that, so they've called the audible, and that's a pretty good result.
Yes, it's right in front of those 2 Italian lemons.
Oh, sorry, bad throws.
Now she's going to guard. Okay. I like a guard. I just like it on the last shot. I don't hate it here, though. John, you like this?
Don't mind it, yeah. I think with, you know, we talked about this yesterday, momentum, such a big thing in curling, and, you know, you don't get Team Homan shook very often, right. And not saying they're shook right now, but, you know, we saw a miss from Sarah, we saw a miss from Emma, or a half miss from Sarah and Emma, so I think, you know, trying to apply the pressure a little bit here is not bad.
I think it's a great idea and good read.
I think if you have Rachel looking at a couple yellows as long as possible, I think is good.
I thought Rachel might play that yellow guard into the side yellow, shooter off the back of the outside red and into the house behind the corner guard. Trick shot.
Well, she hasn't really looked at that. Now there she goes. Not thinking about maybe picking that side yellow, though. So it looks like they've settled on sort of a lightweight peel here and move that yellow off the center line and roll your red shooter onto the rings. Very precise shot. It's a pretty steep angle, too, I think. So just playing hack weight here. Sarah Wilkes really leaning on this one. Did they oversweep it?
Coming down.
Did they oversweep it? Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's good. Really good.
That's good plan B, I suppose.
Pretty good.
Wasn't at all what they were trying, but not bad result. Still Constantini lying 2, though.
This is going to get expensive for both teams. They're both going to risk a lot here.
Yeah.
But right now, advantage Constantini for sure. Drawing around, lying one buried and drawing around for another one. Going to leave some kind of double off that top 8 rock, but if you ever get a miss now out of Tracy, she needed to not be the one to miss first, and this looks wide and heavy. Trying to chip it sideways now. It's a hack weight hit.
Yeah, that was a lot more weight than Stefania had been calling for, and it might have even pushed it out of second shot.
It did.
So
Rachel just confirmed.
Big mistake there from Elena.
Shot rock's still hard to get.
Yeah, it's just if you're Constantini, those red rubies are starting to stack up in there. It's getting a little concerning.
I don't love hitting this one at this point. I think it's important that we get shot rock here soon. And hit and roll, I guess it could. It's awfully thin to go into shot rock here, though.
Yeah, and if you do that, you're probably jamming your red.
Yeah. I wonder if that's secretly what Rachel's calling here. Hit and roll, but knowing. She'll know where she needs to hit it. The hit and roll too far here is pretty bad. The hit and roll too short here is not great. Trying to think of where the roll would be really good.
Gotta move it. Go. Hard, roll it.
I think that's probably the best spot.
Probably the best spot, yep. So Constantini lying 1, Rachel Homan lying 2, 4, and 5.
I think you need to guard that red one. We got to take on some risk here if you're Italy. This probably isn't going to be all that helpful.
Yeah, just hitting the outside one here, hitting 5th shot. That's a nice roll there from Elena Mathis. Constantini now lying 1-2, but Tracy Fleury certainly can get at it.
Made that as good as they could for sure. This is planted in there. Trying to hit half a rocket, sounded like John, and plant this on the one on the button. It will be just on the tee line. If she hits it perfect, it'll be way over buried. And open up second shot rock.
Just like that.
Not bad.
Not bad at all from Tracy Fleury. I think they would have liked to plant it though, Brent. Just that little roll off does give Constantini a chance to get at it here and freeze.
And freeze on the button, mostly buried. Like that, if she bumps this an inch, they'll be shot. This is made though, Rachel, big trouble.
Yeah, it's really going to shrink the scoring area, and it might even be if she taps it a hair, they'll be shot too. So
Rachel might have to go to the in-off right away almost, or just blow it up and make sure she scores one. Steal here would be disaster.
So big shot here for Stefania Constantini. It is her first in the 6th.
Not going to get the line here, I don't think, John.
No, perfect weight, but never really curled the way they were hoping.
At least got on the corner of it, and there's probably edge on edge with the guard. Did get it finishing. Tough to lie to here, as Rachel just said.
Yeah, that's what the perfect weight does for you. If Stefania was 2 feet heavy there, it would have been absolute disaster.
Do you like 6 feet more than that?
So a weight-sensitive shot here. It needs to throw enough weight to move it, but also
What do you think is her weight?
not too much that it doesn't get the curl.
Yeah, theirs was just 14, 42. So the weight of her wings, I think they were took weight off. Okay, so they were higher. Okay, I don't know if it'll be slow in the middle here. I think 14 range. Is really close. Okay. Yeah, we can carve it. I think my last one was like a low 15. 15. Okay.
Got to get the speed right.
Close. Look up for me. Wait on me. Line's important. That's center line.
Line is definitely important.
Usually is in curling. They're going line now, though. Sarah Wilkes and Emma Miskew. Weight looks pretty close. Can they hold the line? They got to get by the center. They do. Don't want to roll too far. Do they move it enough? No, they don't.
Oh, boy.
Just over curled. Weight was pretty close to what they wanted, I think, but that was not good.
Weight was good, I think. I think you're right, John. Just tight early.
cioè tocca sempre la 5. Comunque sì, esatto.
Yeah, and maybe the curl just surprised them a little bit too, Brent, because when Rachel said the line is important, I think she thought it was wide. You know, I think they thought it was there.
Sweepers kind of went down on it right away, and she was a little worried they were going to hold it there. I don't know what the conversation could be here. Like, you're never hitting that. You got to just draw down, chap off yours, and take your free steal, I think. I guess maybe worried about the in-off for two. But I don't see any hits that are any good. Best spot for this, John, maybe just chap off the yellow and then roll to the button, but you are going to leave Rachel a shot for two.
Stefania will need to be precise here, no doubt about that. Final stone, Stefania Constantini. Another chance for a steal here if she gets this in the right spot.
Looks way out there.
Well, we saw Rachel's finish a ton. We'll see if this one does too. Elena Mathis trying to bring this one over. Will they get inside enough? Wow, that's real good.
Yikes, is the in-off even there? And if it's thick, it's going to be a steal of two.
Yeah, is there a way you could kind of crotch them a bit here? That's tough, though. It's pretty buried, I mean.
I'm a little nervous if I'm Italy here that if she does tick-tick, all the yellows are going to get hit.
Yep.
And
yeah,
they
it's
don't
just
have
whether
to
there'll be
go
enough
very
weight.
far.
Yeah. I just don't know if enough weight carries through the red to push the yellows far enough, but you never know. Rachel can certainly throw a bullet.
But if you just miss the top one, you're giving up at least two.
I'm worried the drag this one might not.
Yeah, for sure you
I
are.
think we gotta play it to hit this first. So if you hit the guard, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, it's a steal.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be quite bad, yes.
Hasn't even looked at the in-off. Is that there? Off the top red one?
I don't know if it is. I think with Stefania not really moving that yellow one.
Yeah, that was big.
It hasn't really opened up the in-off. I don't know how you could get both yellows moving with the in-off, to be honest. We're not directly behind the sheet,
Just
but...
as much as you can see.
Disclaimer for when we screw up.
Yeah. This would be quite a shot if Rachel Homan makes it. A lot of risk here. Constantini already lying one. Final stone in the 6th.
I think all these yellows are moving.
Sarah Wilkes on this right out of the hand. Will it get by the center guard? They need to just get by the center guard. They don't. Really close from Rachel Homan, but does not make it. And so it's another steal for the Italians. They'll take a 4-2 lead into the 7th.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Well, Brent, it has been a tale of two halves here in this game. Rachel Homan in total control from end 1 to 4, but it's been all Constantini all the time the last two ends. consecutive steals of 2 and 1, and they lead 4-2.
Yeah, I'd never say never in terms of predicting games out here. I mean, the only thing I would say never about is I'm never going to be right, it seems, this week. But some great shots made by the Italian team and some uncharacteristic misses by Team Homan have combined to flip this game on its head. And, you know, heavy favorites to win the game now is Stefania Constantini and her team from Italy.
Yeah, we're just not used to seeing this many misses out of Team Homan and out of Rachel specifically. They just, as we say, have been leaking oil a little bit here in the second half of the game. And you know, we talked about it at the start of the sixth end. It kind of seemed like in some ways Constantini recognized that, played a little aggressively that end, and it obviously paid off. Certainly helped that Stefania made that amazing freeze on her last one too. Picture perfect.
It really was walked down to the perfect spot and left Rachel with a super tough shot that she's a quarter inch away from making that, and I kind of wanted to see what happened to the back ones. Might have been for 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But instead a steal and that extra point. Up 2 playing the second last end is a pretty strong position.
Yeah, we've seen Rachel come back in situations like this before, but she's going to need to really pull something out here. And again, it's not even, it is the team, but it's also just Rachel. We're not used to very often seeing her opposite number out curl her, but that has been the case, at least in the second half of this game. Stefania has been getting the rocks in all the right spots, and Rachel hasn't seemed to have an answer for it.
Easy line.
Yeah, Rachel's kind of missed. You know, I'm sure she would be the first to agree. She missed 4 shots in a row. The last one we'll give her a pass because it's about as hard a shot as you can have. But the 3 before that were very makeable. But the doctor ordered a deuce here. If they can get 2 tied up coming home, still have a good chance, a decent chance to win this game.
Yeah, no question about it. And we see Sarah Wilkes light again with that second stone. So these corner guards are not in an ideal position.
Enough guards that the blank is unlikely.
Yeah, I'm not sure Rachel would have been chasing that anyway. This is quite heavy from Marta Lodeserto.
Okay, Marta.
So that'll go into the back 12, and that's a good thing to see if you're Rachel Homan.
No doubt. 3 come around your double corner guards here. I wonder how Italy will handle this. It's hard to walk up and peel anything because there's so many guards. Needs to be made first, though. Team Homan needs to get on a little bit of a streak here, make a couple in a row, and give the skipper a chance to put some points on the board. Line's perfect.
Yeah, swoopers are acting like this one's a little heavy too.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Just you better follow that down for now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
This is fine.
Whatever you guys want.
As long as we know now, let's all agree that that red one, and nothing's certain, obviously, but that red one's going to be there all end.
Yeah.
This is your chance to do something with it, unless you get a total miss, or I guess eventually a chap off and then a double over to it. But that I'm going to call the second point. The only way to not hang that on the board for Team Homan is probably at this point a steal for Constantini. That's my guess.
All right, we'll put that in our shirt pocket.
Yeah, and let me open up PointsBet here and put all the money against it.
I don't know if the betting has gotten specific enough where you where you're allowed to bet on that specific stone will be the second point, but you know, things may progress down that road eventually. So it was another heavy stone for Marta Lodeserto, and we don't see it get buried as a result. So now this is really a great opening for Team Homan.
curl for a piece. That
Oh,
doesn't
boy.
sound good, but I don't think that's accurate.
No.
Hey, good shot.
I've always maintained that hard for a piece is not really for the sweepers. Because, you know, if you're a sweeper and you know it's close, you're going to be sweeping hard anyway. Hard for a piece is so every one of the other sheets can look over and go, wow, this idiot's about to miss. Take a peek at this.
And making this sweeper panic like it's going to be really bad does not motivate me. It's like, oh, the throw's that bad? I'm kind of done
I'm
here.
done. I'm out, yeah.
I'm going Matt Hamilton and Colin Huffman, and I'm dropping off on this draw against 3 at the hog line. Make sure everybody knows whose fault this is.
Yeah.
Good looking roll there. Can it stay for shot?
Yes, it does, but it does roll open.
But getting those rocks closer together, making me closer to a liar. We're only a nose hit away from, 2 nose hits away from getting into that one.
My first thought was the head.
Yeah. Are we shot? I like the hit.
For second.
What do you guys think?
Okay, so Constantini is shot there.
Because if we draw, they're probably...
She's gonna hit it if we're open.
Yeah, definitely. And then you're going to have to make a roll or else you leave a double. And if you make a roll, they're going to freeze.
only be full 8, just shot.
I think I just talked myself into the draw.
Okay. So where do you want it for depth for the draw? Bite the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is a better
If we bite the 4, if they freeze, we'll be
shot.
third over there.
It's always fun to listen to Rachel and Emma. I mean, they're only, I don't know how old they are, mid-30s. They've played together for 45 years.
Yeah.
Since they were kids. So there's nothing held back between the two of them.
No, certainly not.
And Rachel does look to Emma a lot on the strategy.
Yeah, two great strategists, no question about that. And like you said, it's not just that they're willing to be honest with each other, but they also do it so quickly. You know, they communicate almost in a shorthand. Sometimes you watch some curling teams and the front end or the third is really involved in the strategy, and it complicates the picture. You know, it takes so long, and it's pretty nice from Tracy Fleury, a little deeper than they wanted, but that'll work. But yeah, you know, it ends up being too much talking, whereas with Emma and Rachel, it's quick. They know what each other's thinking, and they play off each other very well.
Agreed. And that it does come from familiarity, and you almost create, some teams you can almost create your own language.
For sure. I think just curling in general, like that never really occurred to me because I've been curling my whole life, but working on Broomgate, my co-producer was a non-curler, Kathleen Goldhar, a very talented CBC journalist, and she was just like, said she got dizzy when I was around curlers because it was like we were speaking a foreign language. She didn't understand any of the things we were saying.
Totally, right?
When we got technical about the game. And yeah, obviously you can take that to another level, and this looks way light. This is disaster for Elena Mathis. Not only light, but doesn't guard the hole at all.
That was a good chance. I'm not sure why they threw that turn. Were they thinking they were bumping it, or why wouldn't you just follow the turn you just saw?
My guess is they thought if you're a little heavy, then that gives you a plan B, but yeah, my goodness. That is really not a good result for Team Constantini. See if Tracy can get this one in a bit better of a position.
The last one got tight too and was heavy, so definitely no lack of curl here. Want to be biting the forefoot, fully buried, so that almost gets in the way of the intern freeze. Not sure this is going to curl enough to do that.
Yeah, you got to be there for second shot here.
Those ran completely different.
Yeah, that ends up short of second shot, so that's a tough miss for Tracy Fleury. Maybe a usable rock, though.
Definitely usable. So I thought she tapped just come around to everything and not go to the back one, which I guess is fine, but that short run back is going to be made more times than not. Somebody just brought the PEI ocean cool air in here. You feeling that?
It's nice.
Yeah.
A little breeze.
Fresh.
We need it.
Island air.
Yeah, I was out on the Atlantic yesterday. Got a couple good lungfuls. Might have cured all my problems.
No doubt. All your physical ones anyway.
That's what, yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any hope for my mental ones.
So I wish I spoke Italian because I didn't hear a lot of chatter about the speed, you know. Was it just Elena coming up that light, or is the spot, has it sat? This is running like the spot's fine.
Yeah,
maybe just a soft throw on release, got it going inward, and that kills the speed. Got to go for shots still, but they're liking it. Basta means no somehow. It's in a pretty good spot. The run back's there, but it's going to run into that red a lot of times, but I think they still play it.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Unless it dead jams on the red. The red's not going to go out, and they're going to lie 3 here. I think, if I can count that high.
I think you're right.
You can see, like, you're just missing a little piece.
I don't need to hit it all. I need to hit like half.
Catching that's even better.
Yeah, I know, but I need to hit half to catch that.
Look,
Half seems thin.
looks like 3/4 is real close to
I
half.
think I'm on Team M on this one.
I think so too.
They're pretty close together, so.
Yeah, even a half you get.
Yeah, I think half you might miss the back. You certainly bring missing the back into play if you hit half.
I'm seeing weight. That way, if I hit too much of this,
You just don't want this one to spill out too much.
I know.
Yeah, but I think it's a
More questions than answers so far down at that end.
even an easy peel.
Somebody's got to get in control of this situation. I prefer it be Rachel. This is what I see. This is what I'm going to make. This is how I'm going to throw it. Don't fall on it. They've split the difference between half and 3/4.
My last one I turned and it still fell. So.
Okay, so should go straight then?
Yeah. So. Okay. Are you throwing it? Straight to it. Okay.
This is the exact spot Rachel got that one back in the 5th end and missed that very makeable double.
So a big shot here for Rachel Homan.
Easy peel. Hard. Yeah. Easy peel. Hard.
Look at that curled.
Oh boy.
That made a move.
That
That's
really
surprising.
made a move, yeah. Now that's now 5 misses in a row for Rachel Homan, which you don't say that sentence too often. And Constantini in another really good spot to steal here.
Still got to be careful where she puts this. So Rachel will have a very similar shot for 3. But needs to be in there for second shot as well. Roll the dice, put it in the same spot, and hope for another break.
Yeah, I think you gotta get close to the same spot for sure.
Possible it could curl enough that that shot might not be there. She's probably gonna have a shot for 2 here.
È più veloce secondo me.
Be high risk though.
Final stone for Constantini here. Trying to apply some more pressure to the reigning world champs.
I like the line.
This is a very similar line to the last one, over curling maybe even a little more. And I think that's pretty darn good, yeah. I don't know how you get 2 here if you're Rachel Homan.
You gotta run the corner guard in. Yeah. I don't know if that's, I can't tell which one's higher though. But that's a crazy call. You gotta try and take your 1, which isn't easy either.
If we're trying to go for more, this is the only option.
Yeah, so Emma pointing it out, if we want more than 1, this is what we're doing. You miss that, it's game over. But if you only get 1, you might be feeling like it's game over all the same, so. It's up to what Rachel decides here.
It's up to you. Like, this pretty, yeah, I was thinking just it's also not automatic in the middle there either, so.
Emma likes it.
I think that same shot's there.
Emma does like it.
It's not fair because
It's for, is it for 3? I suppose might.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You saw it normal out here. You said it came back a bit. I imagine it'll stay there, come up an inch. Then half? Yeah.
They are going to take it on. I mean, I think if you ask most teams on tour, Brent, they would rather take this risk than be down 1 without.
Probably accurate. As fancy as this looks, it is makeable.
Yeah, we have seen Rachel pull off some amazing feats. She's going to need to pull one off here, or this would be a shot of the week contender if she makes it. It's a 8-foot angle raise double.
I think this would be shot of the week. For sure.
Yep.
Gotta hit it into about a third of that first one, I think. It's going straight for that back one. Hold on tight. I don't think that's anywhere close.
They do not love that one. So it is a steal of 2 for Stefania Constantini. They are going to lead by 4, and I'm just waiting to see if there's handshakes here, but it does look like Team Homan will continue playing, so we'll head into the break. We'll be back.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Well, they haven't lost a game yet this season, but Rachel Homan is on the ropes here. Down 4 to Stefania Constantini, and Brent, it really just hasn't seemed like Team Homan has been able to get their feet under them in the second half of the game. They've been chasing almost every end, and Constantini's made them pay.
Yeah, it seems like they're close on a lot of shots, but nothing's really going their way. And the first half didn't seem like they could do much wrong. So once again, Italy's strategy paying off, whatever it was. And credit to the Italians. They've made a ton of shots, especially their skip. So you want to have your best player throwing last, in my opinion, and I think they got the lineup right.
Yeah, we've seen Stefania make just about every draw she's had to. She's been absolutely dynamite on the draw weight, especially that last end. That last shot was absolutely perfect.
Had to be very precise.
Gave Rachel no choice but to play a really difficult shot, and she didn't quite get close. So we'll see if anybody could find a way to stack up 4 and tie this. It is Team Homan, but certainly the odds are stacked against them here.
We're going to need a lot of help here from the Italians. We need a lot of misses. Most teams don't play down 4. But crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I think when you're the defending world champs, 15-time slam winners, undefeated on the season, you probably think, we got a chance.
Right.
We got a chance.
Why not?
I wouldn't think that. I'd be already half undressed at this point.
Yeah, I'd be home and cooled for sure. This is where if I'm the lead on the other team or the second, front enders get to trash talk more than the back end, because the back end has to kind of, stand up for that. But I might be playing with the Velcro on my right-hand glove just to see if what the sound's like and see if anybody picks up on that. The old Craig Saville move. Or he just sometimes go over. I mean, we're always playing the men. Boys, we got another game. Like, let's get out of here.
I gotta go have lunch, guys.
You know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. So let's just make it happen.
Yeah, I gotta get back out here. I know you guys have the rest of the day off, but I got to get out here.
Yeah.
So that'll go through the house for Marta Lodeserto, by design, of course. And so I think we're going to see a third corner guard up here for Emma Miskew, and then the Italians will climb aboard the the Peel train, rather. They've already been on the steel train. They've been on the steel train for quite some time now. They're very comfortable. Settling down in the dining car, I believe, at this point.
Yeah. This would be a big win for the Italians. Not sure if Stefania and team have beaten Rachel before, but get them to the A final too as an added bonus. And you hate to say we have 3 chances to qualify. You never want to say that out loud, because you lose the first one, the next one's get a lot harder. Lose the second one, the third one gets real hard. A, B, C, later they call it.
Yep. We've done that a few times before.
It's possible. You're not alone. You're going to see, I think Rachel will probably just guard that. They need like a wide open flash or two. I guess you could go around. Same. But they don't need minor misses. They need like complete misses.
So Constantini, if they win this, would move on to play the winner of Tab Peterson and Satsuki Fujisawa. And the loser will drop to the B side and play the loser of that Peterson-Fujisawa game.
Needs to stay in the rings, which it does. Just going to hit the open one, peel it out. They're going to go around the corner again. Italy's going to peel the guard. Not a great feeling for Team Homan at the moment.
No, it certainly isn't.
Probably seems like a long time ago that they were just cruising, making everything for the first 4 ends,
Yeah,
really.
Totally.
Looked to be on cruise control, and then that 5th end kind of snuck up on them.
Yeah, it's strange, you know, when you see that happen, especially for Rachel. Usually, if you're bad, you're just bad.
Yeah.
You know, and you come out bad and you finish bad, and they had a great start to the game, but it's been a poor second half. Just looking up their overall record, Stefania has beaten Rachel, and not only has beaten her before, but beat her at the Tour Challenge last year.
Oh, got her number at the
8-7. So Rachel is 2-1 lifetime. I mean, Stefania did also beat her mixed doubles wise, but that doesn't count. So team wise, it's 2-1 Homan over Constantini. But yes, it was just about a year ago that Constantini beat Rachel. One of Rachel's only losses last year.
So Rachel doesn't like this team.
No, exactly. This is deja vu for her out here.
And in that mixed double, Stefania and Amos were the team that knocked Rachel and John out of the playoffs by a millimeter too.
Oh, that was
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We will be back with you at 4 p.m. local time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern, noon p.m. Pacific time. It'll be Brad Gujou facing off against Nicholas Sedin. And I believe it'll be myself and Brent back on the call for that one. So be sure to join us for that. You won't want to miss that heavyweight tilt.
Probably a preview of this year's World Final.
Very well could be. Yep, very well could be. A rematch of last year's and a preview of this one's.
Pretty much guaranteed Nick's going to be there, or very close. Brad's got some work to do, but doesn't seem to be tough work for them over the last 5 or 6 years.
No, absolutely. So a nice shot there from Tracy, but a double here for Stefania will send Team Homan packing.
Two open hits will do the trick as well. I don't see anything bad that can happen here, though, unless you fall or picks and runs off the sheet or something.
Yeah, certainly does not have to make the double here. It's not a particularly stressful situation for Team Constantini at the moment.
How's her clock? Can she lose that way? No, lots of
No,
time.
Tons of time, yeah.
Running out of ideas, Homan fans.
And she'll just miss the double, so.
Prolong the agony.
Exactly. Yeah. Another draw into the middle here for Rachel, and Stefania will have an open hit for the win. I actually think for Rachel, she maybe needed to hit one of these yellow ones.
I wondered the same thing.
Because I think you make this, if Stefania misses the open hit, I don't know how you make the fourth one count. It's not going to be easy anyway. If you hit that top yellow one, then it's certainly a lot easier. But I think this is just assuming your opponent's going to make the shot. You're not really thinking about it too much. Okay, well, that's dead frozen, so it's a lot easier to get the fourth point now if Stefania were to miss it. If you didn't make that dead frozen, though, it might have been a lot tougher. But Sarah Wilkes and Emma Miskew have the gloves off already. I used to like doing that too. Just rip the Velcro off a couple times so the other skip can hear it.
Right. Yeah, we're done here.
Yeah, we're done. Maybe plant a seed of doubt in Constantini's mind, but it's an open hit here for the win. And after the game she's had, there was no doubt that she was going to miss that one. So it's a final here in Charlottetown, 6-2. Stefania Constantini defeating Rachel Homan. So Constantini will move on to the A final. Rachel Homan will drop down to the B. What a game. We still have some games going on. Scroll around Home Team Live. Go check them out. And we'll be back in a couple hours' time. For Brent Lang and everyone here at Home Team, I'm John Cullen. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.